This year is off to a great start with a number of small games making a splash. These include Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Blueprints, and Split Fiction. These impactful experiences have not just won critics and players alike over, they've rekindled several players' interest in smaller productions. For the month of May, there is Yasha, a yo-yo-based action-adventure game, and Blades of Fire. With this experience adding blacksmith mechanics to the tried-and-true fantasy action-adventure game, is it enough to stand out, or does it require further forging? Blades of Fire starts with an intriguing premise, one that, unsurprisingly, does not involve race cars. Players control the mysterious Aran Delira, who comes into possession of the last of the 7 hammers that forged the world following his friend's demise.
Wouldn't even let me look at it. That's a relic of the Forger's Age. The last of the 7 hammers that forged the world, but... How? Who are you? Exactly.
Been a long, hard day, lad. You can sleep in the barn. We'll talk tomorrow.
After a bit of dialogue with his friend's companion Adso, he uses the hammer and is transported to another realm where he is told to impress the gods.
Welcome, Aran Delira.
Where am I?
You stand in the Forge of the Gods.
What am I doing here?
You are now the bearer of a sacred hammer.
Who are you? And what do you want from me?
Forge your steel here, and prove yourself worthy.
The following morning, he enlists Adso in his quest to commit regicide.
Time to go, lad. I'm going to the palace. You can join me if you like.
The palace? What for?
Despite the strong opening, the narrative does not keep up the momentum. It will take a bit for the next cutscene, with the only plot progression coming from optional interaction with Adso. Once it starts to get going, things begin to improve, adding interesting lore and colorful characters. There is also a wide variety of twists to uncover, assuming you can survive the harsh world.
It's okay. You can come closer.
At first glance, Blades of Fire has a surprisingly robust combat system. There are over 5 weapon types, each with various different options. These fall into obvious categories, like daggers are fast, spears pierce, polearms are blunt, swords slash, and so forth. These are used against a wide variety of enemies that have distinct weaknesses that can be seen by locking onto them. It is very similar to Fallout's VAT system, where each section is color-coded to make things simple. Basically, your goal is to attack green parts and avoid anything red. Where it starts to get a little complicated is style, controls, and durability. Style refers to what type of attack you are currently doing. For example, a spear can either slash or pierce to attack. Based off the enemy's weaknesses, you'll want to swap between them or to another weapon for optimal damage. Unlike most games, Blades of Fire has a 4-button attack system. Top button is head, left and right hit their respective direction, and bottom is body. This makes targeting locations a lot easier, though I do think it makes combat a bit more cumbersome. On PlayStation 5, which this review is based on, block is L2 and dodge is L1. I'm used to this being circle or cross, meaning there is a decent learning curve. Due to how combat is set up, Blades of Fire does not lend itself to remapping either. I ultimately remapped my Pro Controller to make it simpler, which is another example of comfort from my recent review, though you can get by just blocking. Where things start to head south is the durability system. Over time, weapons will become increasingly dull. How quickly this happens varies based off the weapon's quality, how it was built, and where the enemies were hit. As interesting as it is, it can be a bit cumbersome. Not only does it make dealing with a wide variety of enemies annoying, it adds another element to think of. Remember, at this point you need to consider weapon, attack type, where to attack, and even adjust to the location to prevent being stopped by topography. Thankfully, weapons can be repaired, though only a finite number of times. This amount is dictated by how well you perform in the forging mini-game. Once a weapon is constructed, it needs to be forged. This can be done by hammering the metal into a predetermined shape. It is an interesting concept, with each star granting exactly one repair. Where this mode starts to stumble is the tutorial and time commitment. The only thing you are told is to move the hammer and adjust your striking strength to create the desired shape. Admittedly, that is all you ultimately need to do, but I don't feel like it makes the trick obvious. What I mean is, every weapon has a finite amount of metal in a predetermined arrangement, so to make the desired shape you need to first spread the metal across the desired area and then fine-tune it. If this sounds confusing, I included the Twin Axe Forge since it makes the concept easy to understand. I also added the desired outcome to help visualize the puzzle. Not only is it easy to mess up, it can take a bit of time if you're not particularly proficient at visualizing the end goal. Though, even moving relatively fast, it took me about 2 minutes to finish a single weapon. One good thing is every weapon records your best attempt. This means the minigame can be skipped on subsequent forges. However, as higher tiers are unlocked, it will take another successful attempt to gain that benefit. While forging might not be my favorite aspect, I like the weapon unlock system. Instead of having to find specific items or locate hidden blueprints, they are attained by simply defeating enemies. This small choice makes several optional battles feel rewarding. I also like that I can farm certain enemies to quickly unlock a desired weapon. There are also a few weapons locked behind single spawn enemies, a choice that encourages finding and eliminating these threats. One of the weakest points in Blades of Fire is progression. This is partially due to how objectives are presented. It isn't always clear what needs to be done to progress, which can cause some players to get stuck. This happened to me a few times, as the solution was either well hidden or required a leap of faith. The latter was especially rough since there are some stiff punishments for making a mistake.
We have to go.
Perhaps the most annoying mechanic in all of Blades of Fire is losing your equipped weapon on failure. It doesn't matter if something strikes you down or accidentally falls through the floor, that weapon will be lost until it is reclaimed. Not only am I unsure what the goal of the system is, besides adding it because Souls games or something similar did it before, it furthers the already cumbersome combat. I mean, I can't just have one of each weapon, I need to have a backup in the event I lose something along the way. It also sucks because the backup might not be as strong or durable, making it harder to reclaim the original. Overall, I think Blades of Fire is a good example of different not being inherently good. Don't get me wrong, there are absolutely positives I didn't get into, such as liking several levels' designs and the amount of weapon customization is always welcome. It just doesn't make the experience more enjoyable. It will always be defined by the overall loop, which is unfortunately tedious and annoying. For these reasons, I think the appeal is limited, though those on the fence can give the demo a go. I think it's a good representation of what the base experience is like, and if it resonates with you, that is a great indicator you will likely enjoy the full experience. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, and for more content, please subscribe.